the midst of winter, I found there within me invincible summer. And that makes me happy. For it says that no matter how hard the world pushes against me, within me, there's something stronger, something better pushing right back. Albert Camus. I think in any awakening, there is that moment where you no longer fear death and you don't fear life. And no matter what happens, you're unshakable. I think Thich Nhat Hanh or Ram Dass said something like the idea is like having a candle in your hand, and then no matter how hard the wind blows, the candle won't go out. Like those like birthday candles as a kid where like you blow it out and then it like re-sparks, like it's impossible to put out. That's your spirit when you reach that point, I think. And this quote's always stuck with me throughout the years because it's like never giving up on yourself in a way too's been like I don't want to be a bitch kind of thing, like to give in life where it's like I'm not strong enough to make it. Like I kind of feel like something like suicide's like the easy way out, like you gave up, like you couldn't take it, especially when there's people in the world that have such a hard life compared to us in the US. There's people that we're like the top 1% of the world. And the Buddhist theory and Hinduism too talks about that, where it's like if you were to do that, you murder is like a really bad thing to do, and that's just gonna like extend your reincarnations. Like I'm trying to like maximize my incarnation, get as much stuff burnt off as I can this time. Like I think there's like a joke where it's like suicide's a temporary solution to a permanent problem. It's like the reverse. Usually they say don't do something don't do something permanent for a temporary problem is what people usually say. Like don't this is things will pass, don't do it. But if you look at through kind of the Hindu Buddhist perspective, it's the opposite. This is a permanent problem. You're just and it's weird now too that I'm so unshakable. Like for years in corporate culture and even my personal life, I get so rattled by people or by things that would happen to me and just things in life. And often I'd blow up at like a small thing, like stubbing my toe, I'd go crazy because I'd been holding in so much from work and the rest of my life. So I'm like, you're like at the boiling point already. It's like the straw that broke the camel's back, stubbing my toe or something like that happening would just like set me over the edge because I'm like on a hair trigger where it's like anything was going to set me off. My ex-wife used to complain about that. And at the time, I thought it was more just because it was like I wasn't where I wanted to be in my career. I was tired of struggling financially. Now it's kind of like now I can look back, like they say, hindsight's 2020. Now I can see it's like, oh, like I was just carrying, I was letting the world affect me too much. I was carrying everything on my back. And now I'm kind of like, I don't care. I do the Tao effortless action. I do only what's required. I do my duty and nothing more and nothing less. I don't slack, but I don't work too hard. I do what needs to be done. And even today at work, I got a compliment where I'm kind of working with a guy that's known to be a jerk off. And I got a compliment from someone else that was like, "Oh, you're so professional and this and this. You're always so professional. All the, getting all the compliments and you're on top of things." And I really appreciate that. And like years past, I would have like really basked in that. But I'm even in the meeting, and I kind of made the mental decision when I took this new client and this difficult problem with these people that I'm just going to do the Tao, just the effort, let action. I'm not going to overwork. That's why I'm even doing this video right now. I'm not working right now when I really could or should. I earned my rest. I just do what's required of me in this job and nothing more. And in life as well. And it's kind of interesting that I feel like people can sense that unshakableness now. I don't I don't flicker anymore. I'm not quick to anger anymore. I kind of have resting bitch face now to some degree, not in a mean way, but I'm just kind of like unaffected by things. Every once in a while I'll get triggered. It still does happen. I'm still human, but it's become a rare occurrence. And then it also I can kind of polish. It's kind of like polishing something, like sanding it down. There's rough edges, and sometimes you're running your hand over something and you don't feel the rough, you can't see the rough edge, but you have to run your hand over it to feel it. It's kind of like when you're washing dishes where like the dish looks clean and then you rub your hand in it and you feel something stuck to the bottom of the bowl, but you can't see it. Like it's not visible, but you can feel it. So I kind of feel like that's what I'm at that polishing stage now versus like before it was a big dead piece of wood. I'm having to hack it with an axe. And obviously it's not where it needs to be. Now it's a round wooden ball that's rough around the edges. I just got to get it perfectly 100% frictionless. Like I feel like I'm in that polishing stage. And this is the hardest stage for me in a way because I'm like, you think you're done. I think Yash from Spiritual Renaissance talks about it, like awakening isn't a one-time thing. It's like continuous. Every time I think, okay, I've like done the work, I've made it, I get shown I'm not there yet. Just like the chakra system shows, I'm kind of like a little more than halfway there. I'm like 60% there. I have a lot of work to do. In that polishing, I thought, looking at that wooden ball, I'm like, oh, everything's smoothed out. I'm all good. And then now it's like the whole ball needs to be polished. And it's going to take a lifetime probably to get to where I need to be. And I think that's a thing. It's like kind of the military element. I worked with a guy and he was telling me the story about how like he had to count pencils in the office. Like the military makes you take inventory on like the most ridiculous things, like paper clips, staples. It's like really stupid kind of stuff. And but it makes sense in a way because all the military guys always say it's like how you do anything is how you do everything. So it's kind of like training that discipline, like not letting anything slip. And so I kind of take that militaristic approach to spirituality now. I can't be spiritual at church and then get in a fist fight in the parking lot from a road rage because like, oh no, this guy stole my spot. Like I've seen that in church situations. Like people are all holy in the church, and then when you get out of church, people are acting crazy. So it's I kind of view like I kind of live my my life in all situations the same. I think in the past I was too passive in some situations. I was trying to keep I should say no, I know I was way too passive. So I was trying to keep the peace. Now I just speak the truth and let the chips fall where they may. My problem is I think I still I might say I need to work on the throat chakra. I'm still stuck in the heart chakra. I need to learn on how to say things. I say the truth, but I don't say it in a polite, nice way sometimes. And that's what's got me in trouble with my ex-wife recently and other people recently where it's like I'm right in what I'm saying, but the way I'm saying or the tone I'm saying it, the timing I'm saying, I'm communicating in a way that's causing an issue. So I'm not, that's kind of been my problem my whole life, but I'm at least gotten to the point where I like my self-respect. I think David Goggins talks about this. Like self-respect is keeping promises to yourself and like being aligned. Your your actions are aligned 100% with your values. And it actually takes a lot to do that. This whole, indestructible summer, invincible summer in yourself, you can't have that if you're not 100% authentic. Like for me, I had to make that decision. With work, it was like I had to make the decision. I'm going to be straightforward and do things the way that I feel needs to be done. And if that gets me fired, so be it. Same with my ex-wife. I'm going to speak the truth. I even had conversations with her like that. I don't want secrets between us. I don't want subterfuge. So I've made that kind of commitment to her. I'm just going to be honest with you, regardless if it's going to cause a problem. I don't want resentments and other things building up. And honestly, my life has like really accelerated in like how much better it's gotten in the last probably year, 6 months especially. but I haven't tried to make my life better. For years, I was trying to have a better life. And now that I don't care, it's a weird thing. It's like the effortless action. It's like holding sand in your hand. If you grab a bunch of sand, you squeeze too tight, it all falls out. Your hand, you don't put your fingers together. You have like space between your fingers, the sand falls through. But if you cup the sand gently, you can hold the max amount of sand in your hand. There's kind of like the middle path element to life. And I'm at that point. Like I'm not lazy, but I'm not, as my ex-wife would say, workaholic, where I'm not trying so hard to make things work anymore. I'm just kind of like lightly holding life. And for me, it's like having that candle in my heart is how I kind of view it. That's kind of always burning, like no matter what's going on around me. It's like even today, I kind of bumped my tire and I'm like, oh crap, might have knocked out the alignment. Years past, I would have just been cussing. It didn't even bother me. I was just like, whatever, just moved on. And I think that's the thing is you have to hold yourself to your standard, not other people's. I discovered that especially post divorce, where I always kind of lived with someone. I lived with my parents. I lived like with roommates in college, and then post college, I lived with roommates, and then I moved in with my girlfriend who became my wife. Like getting divorced was like the first time in my like adult life, and really my whole life, that like I would come home and like no one was there. Like it was like a fortress of solitude. It is like forcing me to kind of like assess my life. I'm not living by anyone's standard. And I couldn't blame anyone around me. I couldn't project. I couldn't kick the puppy emotionally on somebody else. That if I'm in a bad mood, I could see there's nobody here. I'm in my own bad mood. There's no one I can blame. It was like in a weird way, it was kind of like solitary confinement for me. And that kind of like molded me too. It's like the marble got chipped away to show the Adonis. Like I needed that silence to kind of self-assess to get that internal flame going. And and Thich Nhat Hanh talks about it too, where like you don't want to let that light go out. And I've done some videos on this. It's like I'm very concerned every day where it's like I don't want to deviate from the path because it's so easy to lose that flame. Like it's going to keep resparking if you're living that life, but if you get away from it, and I even see that with working out. I got an injury now, and now I've gained all this weight because I was working out like 5 to 7 days a week, and I was eating healthy, and everything was going good. And I got hurt, and then like I got into bad habits before and now I'm like weak. I got a stomach. It's like it didn't take long for me to get really out of shape. I'm probably like backed to I've like lost 4 years of working out work very quickly within like maybe a year. So to build that internal summer within yourself, it's not a given, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You have to do the work. You can't pass the exam without studying, kind of thing. It's like the old saying, God helps those who help themselves. You must help yourself. And in a way, it's like kind of like everything in life. It's they say if like you're working for yourself or anything in life, you're trying to self-improve, you're working out, it's not about the results, it's about the journey. You need to, obviously you need a North Star to walk towards, but you shouldn't be so focused on the future that you're not able to see what's in front of you.